Hey there. My name is Randy Liu. I'm a third year medical student at the University of Washington, and I want to thank you for the opportunity to apply for the Husky 100. I think I first was able to learn how much the knowledge that you gain within the classroom was applicable in about my sophomore year when I got my first internship here in Seattle with a cancer diagnostic lab. And in this job, I was learning to apply the basic science background that I was learning in the classroom to really help our team run genetic samples using fluorescence and C2 hybridization, which is something that I had directly learned from Biology 200. So that was a really kind of eye-opening moment for me. And so, fast forward later on when I was applying to medical school, I realized that there was this applying to medical school was a very daunting and complicated process. And so, this remained a very big barrier of entry for many students from disadvantaged backgrounds to be able to apply and to be at the same level. And so, this was something that I really took to heart, and it was a problem that I really wanted to solve. So I sought out to create a free resource to kind of help other medical students or aspiring pre-med students all across the country in applying. And one idea I had was to build a website, considering that I had some background in how to do that. So I realized that the main problems I was trying to solve was putting out the information for people to apply, but also there was a geographical problem that I was trying to solve as well. Um, Considering that many medical school applicants applied to about 15 to 30 schools, there was no good resource at the time that combined all the geographical locations of all the medical schools across the country. And to add to that, there was different medical schools that you can go to, including both MD and DO schools. And so what I went ahead and was I tinkered with some map softwares at the time, and eventually I was able to put together a really cool a map of every single medical school in the country with links on every state and every region that had a medical school. And if you clicked on it, it would take you exactly to the admission portal of that school. So eventually, this circulated around online, and it started to build a little bit of traction on Reddit. And eventually, it started to become, I think last year I had 100,000 hits. So it really kind of blew up within the pre med community, and I was so happy to be able to just provide this resource for free to students all across the country for them to have at least something to go off of when they're applying to medical school. Another career changing opportunity that I really got at the University of Washington was when I had the opportunity to work with one of my biochemistry professors in her research lab. So she was doing some work regarding stem cells, and her lab was using Drosophila or fruit flies as a model for a drug screen that we were doing. So as a part of the protocol, us undergrads, our job was to dissect these fruit flies under a microscope, essentially to take out their testes, and then we would stain the testes and do all this other stuff. But yeah, so that took a lot of manual dexterity to kind of look down the microscope and to use these tiny tweezers essentially to dissect the abdomen of a fruit fly. And it was really really challenging at first, but I fell in love with it. And that passion carried over into medical school, where during my core clerkships, I was loving all the different surgical subspecialties, but the one that really stood out to me and the one that I'm planning to apply to is the field of ophthalmology, which is eye surgery. And in that field, you're kind of looking through a microscope and you're dissecting down into the eye. And the best part is you can help your patients see again, which is something that I think is just phenomenally, it's a gift. um, so looking forward to my next couple of years, I'm currently in third year medical student. Next year, I'm planning to do a research year with an ophthalmologist at the University of Washington, and we're doing some work regarding artificial intelligence and deep learning and machine learning with the images of retinal scans. And my eventual goal is to become an ophthalmologist and an entrepreneur and a scientist to kind of further not only medicine but also the field of ophthalmology, and hopefully do some good with that. And to think that all of this came from humble beginnings as a undergraduate student at UW is pretty amazing. So again, thank you for listening to my story, and hope you guys have a great day.